Segment 3, Teddy, watch what you bet. A couple games here on the docket. We'll talk about the Pac-12 battle, which I don't know how much you can say is good or bad right now with the Pac-12 coming off that disastrous, out-of-conference schedule that they had in December. But we'll get back to it here. It is a major ESPN game. It will be on nationally. UCLA traveling to match up with Oregon. Current lines that we're looking at right now, Teddy, Oregon favored by -4. Looks like a total of 144.5. At the time of the taping there, we didn't have a money line that was available. Game time, 9 o'clock West Coast. So obviously a 6 o'clock tip-off out there. Some key injury information. Bol, which has been out for a couple games. And, I didn't repeat myself. His name is Bol, key center. He'll be a good NBA player once it's turned to turn pro here. Talk about some ins and outs in this game, because the one thing that was interesting, Teddy, is UCLA fired their head coach, Steve Alford. Picked up a couple wins here, maybe getting some momentum. Does it carry over here with the Oregon game?
Well, it could. It really could. But the 2 wins that UCLA got, Stanford, Cal, those are bad basketball teams, both of them. They both came at home. So
it's not Duke versus
this is
Duke
really,
Carolina, Teddy, right? Yeah.
Cal is bad. I catch another ticket against Cal last night. Stanford's not a whole lot better. But 2 bottom feeders at home is not the same as going to Oregon in Eugene and knocking off the Ducks, especially off an ugly showing from the Ducks in their last ball game, slapped around at home by Oregon State. It's a little bit of circle the wagons time for Oregon in this ball game. The big move has been on the total. Huge steam to the over. This opened 139.5. Your screen's going to say 144.5. I'm seeing 147s right now. This over has been steamed to high heaven. Why? Well, UCLA's put up big point totals in 2 games without Steve Alford. The offense has been pushing tempo, and Oregon, they're playing without Bol. Don't forget Kenny Wooten. That's their 2 low post defensive studs. What does that mean? It means Altman's going guards. He's going small ball. You can understand why this total has been steamed up big time in early betting action on Thursday.
Heading to the association, Teddy, Oklahoma City is going to travel to San Antonio today to battle the San Antonio Spurs. Looks like the Spurs getting 1.5. Still looks like it's hanging around that level. 226.5 as the total, depending on where you're shopping out there tonight. Coming in hot, as we like to say, Oklahoma City, 6 of 7 winners. But if you're looking from the Spurs right now, dropping 3 of 4, usually a pretty good home team here, Teddy, with the Spurs. Are we getting a short line where you say, you know what, I'm going to lean on the home dog, or maybe Oklahoma City is the right move in this game here?
Well, OKC's coming off a really ugly loss, at home to Minnesota on Tuesday. Westbrook missing a pair of threes in the final seconds that would have given them the victory. And they shot better than 50% from the floor in that ball game and still lost at home to a sub-500 team. Billy Donovan, quote, "We did some really good things offensively. We moved the ball. We generated some good looks. And I think a lot of the shooting percentages, both in the field and the three-point line, were a byproduct of some good ball movement. They couldn't get stops. And, oh, by the way, Nerlens Noel, not anyone that's going to move the needle from a point spread perspective. His injury matters for OKC. He's been excellent coming off the bench in terms of a low-post defensive stud. And, of course, San Antonio is coming off a really ugly showing, too. They scored just 31 points in the first half at Memphis the other night, lost by double digits. They had a season low in assists in that ballgame, a season worst 30 shots made for the entire ballgame. They're without Rudy Gay. And, oh, by the way, the Spurs have not been good on the second of back-to-backs, just 1-6 straight up this season. We know that Pops rarely goes full steam in these situations. That's definitely a concern for San Antonio bettors, and it's at least part of the reason why we're seeing OKC money, despite the fact the Spurs have been the best point spread team in basketball for the better part of the last 5 weeks.